Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. It's all about guinea pig care.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at this comprehensive guide we found,
Okay.
and really getting into, what it takes to be a responsible guinea pig owner.
Right.
Whether you're thinking about getting one or whether you already have some little piggies running
Yeah.
around. So I'm really excited to dive into this because,
Oh,
I always thought guinea pigs were kind of like,
yeah.
low maintenance pets.
Yeah.
And apparently that's not quite the case.
Right.
There's more to it than just
Yeah.
giving them some carrots and calling it a day.
That's right. While guinea pigs are generally considered, relatively easy pets,
Right.
there are some specific needs that they have that you want to be prepared for as an owner.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a daily checklist of things that you want to make sure that you're doing for them.
Ooh, a checklist.
Yeah.
I love checklists.
So for starters,
Mm.
you're thinking about fresh food and water every day. Spot cleaning their cage daily, and then a full deep clean every week.
Wow.
On top of that, they need plenty of social interaction and handling.
Okay.
It's important to remember that these are living beings with their own needs and routines.
All right.
And as their caretakers, it's our responsibility to ensure their well-being.
Okay, so daily cage cleaning.
Yes.
That definitely sounds a little more hands-on than I initially imagined.
Right.
Can you kind of break down like the difference between spot cleaning and deep cleaning?
Absolutely.
Because I have to admit, I'm not quite picturing what that looks like.
So imagine it this way.
Okay.
When you spot cleaning, you're essentially removing any soiled bedding and any uneaten fresh food.
Okay.
Think of it like scooping out a litter box.
Right.
It's a quick tidy up to keep things hygienic. Now, the deep clean, which you want to do weekly, that's a bit more involved.
Got it.
This is where you replace all the bedding,
Okay.
give the cage a good scrub with a pet-safe cleaner, and basically reset their entire living space.
Okay, so it's like a two-pronged approach
Yes,
to keeping things fresh and healthy.
exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, the guide also highlights some big don'ts when it comes to guinea pig care.
Uh-huh.
And the ones that really caught my eye were the warnings about cage size, the wrong kind of food,
Mm-hmm.
and no frequent baths.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously,
Yes.
no frequent baths.
You caught all the important ones.
Okay.
Let's start with cage size.
Okay.
It's surprising how many people underestimate just how much space these little guys need.
Really?
The guide recommends a minimum enclosure size of 120 by 60 centimeters,
Oh.
which might seem like a lot. But remember, guinea pigs need ample space to move around, exercise, and explore.
Right.
Think about it. If you were stuck in a cramped space all day,
Yeah.
you'd probably get pretty grumpy and restless, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's the same for guinea pigs.
Okay.
A small cage can lead to all sorts of problems like health issues and even behavioral changes.
Okay. I can definitely see how a grab cage could make them miserable.
Yeah.
I hadn't really considered the impact on their health, though. Now, what about this whole food situation?
Yeah.
Why is there such an emphasis on guinea pig-specific food?
That's good.
Is it really that different from rabbit food?
It's all about vitamin C.
Okay.
You see, guinea pigs, unlike many other animals,
Yeah.
can't produce their own vitamin C.
Ah.
They rely on us to provide it through their diet.
Wow.
So guinea pig-specific food is formulated with this in mind,
Okay.
ensuring they get the proper amount of this essential vitamin. Now, rabbit food might seem similar at first glance,
Right.
but it often lacks the necessary levels of vitamin C.
Oh.
Feeding your guinea pig rabbit food could lead to some serious health problems down the line,
Okay.
like scurvy, which affects their joints and muscles,
Mm.
or a weakened immune system, making them more susceptible to infections.
Wow. That's a good reminder that we can't just assume what works for one animal will work for another.
Right.
Definitely not worth cutting corners when it comes to their nutrition.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered the basics, the big no-nos.
Yes.
But let's move on to the fun stuff. You know the cuddly factor?
Yeah.
Just how cuddly are guinea pigs?
Mhm.
Can you just pick them up and snuggle with them whenever you feel like it?
Right.
Or do they prefer their own space?
They definitely enjoy interaction with their humans,
Okay.
but it's a bit more nuanced than just grabbing them for a cuddle whenever the mood strikes.
Right.
They are social creatures,
Yeah.
but they also need to feel safe and secure.
Okay.
The guide suggests handling them daily, ideally for about 10 to 15 minutes, to build trust and create a positive association with being held.
So it's more about quality time than quantity.
Exactly.
I like that. And the guide also mentions some specific handling tips, right?
Yes.
What are those all about?
Uh-huh.
I'm picturing myself approaching them gently,
Yeah.
maybe with a little bribe in the form of a tasty treat.
You're on the right track.
Okay, good.
The guide emphasizes a gentle approach. You never want to startle them.
Right.
Offering treats during handling is a fantastic way to build that positive association
Yeah.
and make the experience enjoyable for both of you.
For both of us.
There's a brand mentioned in the guide called Guinea Gourmet Treats
Okay.
that specializes in natural forages,
Oh,
which are essentially dried plants and herbs that encourage those natural foraging behaviors.
interesting.
They sound like a great way to make handling time extra special.
Ooh, treats. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
What kind of treats do guinea pigs enjoy?
Right.
I know they love their carrots, but what else gets them excited?
That's actually a perfect segue into our next point, their diet.
Perfect. Let's
Yeah.
dive into that.
All right. You might be surprised to learn that while carrots are a popular choice, a guinea pig's diet should be much more varied and balanced than just carrots. The guide breaks down their ideal diet into percentages, and you'll want to pay close attention to this.
Percentages. Okay, I'm all ears laid on me.
All right, so picture this. A whopping 80% of their diet should be hay.
80%.
You might think hay is boring, but it's absolutely essential for their digestion and dental health.
Yeah.
Imagine their little digestive systems, like a machine that needs a constant supply of fiber to run smoothly, and that's where hay comes in.
Okay, 80% hay. Got it. What about the other 20%? Is that where all the fun stuff comes in?
Exactly. About 10 to 15% of their diet should consist of fresh veggies.
Oh,
Think bell peppers, cucumbers, leafy greens, all those good things that give them a variety of nutrients and keep their taste buds happy.
so lots of hay, some fresh veggies, and what about those Guinea gourmet treats we talked about earlier? Where do those fit into this whole percentage breakdown?
Those are a great addition and can be incorporated as part of the remaining 5 to 10% of their diet.
Okay.
They fall into the category of forages, which are essentially dried plants and herbs that encourage natural foraging behaviors. It's like giving them a little taste of the wild and letting them exercise those instincts. The guide specifically mentions a blend called Fruity Fiber Fusion that includes things like dried flowers and berries. Imagine how much fun your guinea pig will have nibbling on those.
I love that. It's like a little treasure hunt for them in their own cage. But hold on, this whole limited fruit thing is throwing me for a loop. I always thought guinea pigs were little fruit bats. What about all those sugary fruits like bananas and grapes? Can't they have those?
That's a common misconception. While it's okay to give them small amounts of fruit as an occasional treat, it's essential to limit their intake due to the high sugar content. Too much sugar can lead to health problems, just like it can for us. Think of it this way. A little bit of sweetness now and then is fine, but their main focus should be on those healthy staples like hay and fresh veggies.
So it's a treat, not a staple. Makes sense. Okay, I have to ask, this might be a little embarrassing, but what about the smell factor?
Yeah,
With all that hay and the daily cage cleaning, are guinea pigs going to make my house smell?
it's a valid concern. A mild, slightly grassy smell is normal, especially when you're first getting used to having a guinea pig around.
Mm.
However, if you notice a strong, unpleasant odor, it usually indicates that the cage isn't being cleaned properly. Remember that daily spot cleaning and weekly deep clean we discussed earlier? Those are your secret weapons against odor control.
Right, those cleaning routines are essential. Is there anything else that can help minimize the smell, or is it mainly about staying on top of cleaning?
Actually, there is. Remember how we talked about cage size being so important?
Yeah.
Well, a larger cage also helps with ventilation, which in turn helps with odor control.
Okay.
Think of it this way. A smaller cage traps the ammonia from their urine, making the smell more concentrated. A bigger cage allows for better airflow, helping to dissipate those odors more effectively.
So it all comes back to giving them enough space. It's like a win-win, happier guinea pig, fresher smelling home. Now, speaking of keeping them happy and healthy, I'm curious about their exercise needs. We know they need some floor time outside their cage, but how much are we talking? Do they need a full-on guinea pig gym?
While a guinea pig gym would be adorable, the guide recommends at least an hour of floor time per day. This should be in a safe, guinea pig-proofed area where they can roam freely, explore, and stretch those little legs. Imagine them popcorning around your living room. It's the cutest thing.
Popcorning, I've never heard that term before. What does that even look like?
It's this adorable little jump they do when they're excited. They literally hop straight up in the air like popcorn kernels. It's a sure sign they're having a good time.
Oh, that sounds precious. Okay, so we're talking a decent chunk of time outside the cage each day. Now, is it just a free-for-all, or can we make this floor time a bit more engaging for them? What does the guide suggest?
You can definitely get creative and make their play area more enriching. The guide recommends scattering some of those Guinea gourmet treats during playtime to encourage their natural foraging instincts. You can even create a little obstacle course with tunnels, ramps, and hiding spots. They'll have a blast exploring and finding those tasty treats.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. So we've covered food, housing, exercise. We're becoming quite the guinea pig experts here. But there's one topic I'm a little hesitant to bring up.
I think I know where you're going with this. It's important to talk about it.
It's about loss. What happens if one of your guinea pigs passes away? Can the surviving one live alone? I imagine they must get lonely, right?
That's a sensitive but crucial question, and it's something every guinea pig owner should be prepared for. Remember how we talked about guinea pigs being social creatures?
Right.
Well, being left alone can be incredibly difficult for them, leading to loneliness, depression, and even health problems. The guide advises closely monitoring the remaining guinea pig for any signs of stress or sadness, such as loss of appetite, lethargy, or a change of behavior.
So what are our options in that situation? What does the guide recommend?
In most cases, it's highly recommended to consider getting a new companion for your remaining guinea pig. This can help them cope with the loss of their friend and provide them with the social interaction they need to thrive.
That makes perfect sense. I guess it's like us humans, we thrive in companionship. It's heartwarming to know that even in difficult times, we can help them through it. Now, on a slightly lighter note, I have a question that I'm sure many potential guinea pig owners are wondering about. How long do these adorable creatures actually live?
The average lifespan of a guinea pig is 5 to 7 years, which might seem shorter than some other pets, but it's still a significant commitment. And just like with any pet good care, a proper diet and regular vet checkups can help them live longer, healthier lives.
So it's a commitment, but a worthwhile one. As they age, what kind of changes should we look out for? I imagine they might slow down a bit, just like us humans do as we get older.
You're exactly right. As guinea pigs age, you might notice them slowing down a bit, maybe sleeping a little more or showing some changes in their mobility or appetite. Just like aging humans, senior guinea pigs might need a little extra TLC and definitely benefit from regular vet visits to catch any potential health issues early on.
That makes sense. Speaking of life changes, what happens when we need a change of scenery? Like vacations. Can you just leave your guinea pig home alone for a week with a giant bowl of food? I'm guessing not, but I have to ask.
Definitely not. Remember those daily care needs we talked about? Guinea pigs can't just fend for themselves. The guide offers different recommendations depending on the length of your trip. For shorter trips, like a weekend getaway, a neighbor or family member checking in once a day to provide fresh food, water, and a quick cage spot clean should be sufficient. But for longer vacations.
Yeah, what about those longer trips we all dream of? What are our options then?
For longer holidays, you'll need a more comprehensive solution. The guide suggests either hiring a professional pet sitter who can visit daily and provide the same level of care you would, or boarding your guinea pig at a facility that specializes in their care. They'll have a dedicated space, plenty of interaction, and all their needs met while you're away.
Good to know. So finding a reliable pet sitter or a reputable boarding facility is key. I'm already feeling more prepared to handle the responsibilities of guinea pig parenthood. Any other crucial tips before we move on?
One more thing, and this is especially important if you use specialized food like those Guinea gourmet treats, or if your guinea pig has any specific dietary needs.
Okay, I'm listening intently. Sounds important.
Always leave clear feeding instructions for anyone caring for your guinea pigs while you're away. Make sure they understand the dietary breakdown, the importance of fresh food and hay, and any specific needs your guinea pig might have. You don't want to come back from vacation to a grumpy, malnourished guinea pig.
That's excellent advice. Imagine the guilt. Okay, so clear communication with our pet sitters or boarding facilities is crucial. We want our furry friends to be as happy and well cared for in our absence as they are when we're home. Now, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We've definitely done a thorough deep dive into the world of guinea pig care.
From daily care routines to those surprising diet needs, we've really unpacked what it takes to be a responsible guinea pig owner.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot of ground, and I hope you feel more informed and confident about providing the best possible care for your furry friends, or maybe even for a future furry friend.
One of the things that really stuck with me is the importance of space. I had no idea cage size could have such a big impact on their health and well-being.
It's a common misconception. We often picture these cute, cuddly creatures in small cages. But the reality is they need room to roam, exercise, and express their natural behaviors. It's crucial to provide them with an environment where they can truly thrive.
And let's not forget about those specialized treats. I love the idea of incorporating those natural forages into their playtime. It's like a little treasure hunt for them.
It's a fantastic way to enrich their environment and encourage those natural instincts. Plus, it's just plain fun to watch them explore and forage. It brings out their playful side.
Speaking of fun, I have to admit I'm kind of picturing myself building a tiny guinea pig obstacle course now.
I wouldn't be surprised if you end up with a guinea pig mansion, complete with a spa and a snack bar.
Maybe a little foraging garden with those guinea gourmet treats. Okay,
Alright.
okay, I'm getting carried away. But seriously, this deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening.
It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. If there's one takeaway I hope you remember, it's that guinea pigs, while relatively low maintenance, are still living beings with specific needs.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We have a responsibility to provide them with the best possible care, and this deep dive has equipped us with the knowledge to do just that.
Before we wrap up, let's leave you with something to ponder. We've talked a lot about the practical aspects of guinea pig care, but there's a bigger picture to consider. Think about this. Where do our guinea pigs come from? Are we getting them from responsible breeders who prioritize their health and well-being? It's something for all of us to reflect on as we navigate the world of pet ownership.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the cuteness, but we should always be mindful of where our pets come from and the ethical implications of breeding. So if you're considering bringing a guinea pig into your life, do your research, choose a reputable breeder, and be prepared to commit to their well-being. And for those of you who are already proud guinea pig parents,
I hope this deep dive has given you some new insights and maybe even inspired you to try some new enrichment activities with your furry friends. They'll thank you for it.
absolutely. A huge thank you to our expert for guiding us through this fascinating world of guinea pig care.
It's been my pleasure.
And to you, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to any resources mentioned, including that website for the Guinea Gourmet Treats. That's www.guineagourmettreats.co.uk. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those guinea pigs happy. As we're wrapping up this deep dive, one thing that's really sticking with me is just how much these little creatures rely on us for their well-being.
Mm.
We've talked about their diet and having enough space and social interaction. Yeah.
It's a lot more than I initially realized.
It's true, and I think that's a really important takeaway for anyone considering, guinea pig ownership.
Yeah.
They're not toys,
Right.
They're living beings that depend on us
Right.
to provide for their needs and make those responsible choices on their behalf.
Exactly. It's a commitment, but it's a rewarding one for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of responsible choices, I'm curious about something you mentioned earlier about those Guinea Gourmet treats.
Yeah.
You said they encourage natural foraging behaviors, right?
Right.
Can you
Yep.
tell me a little bit more about that? Like, what does foraging actually look like for a guinea pig in the wild?
So imagine a little group of guinea pigs in their natural habitat,
Okay.
which is actually the grasslands of South America.
Okay.
They spend a big chunk of their day searching for food,
Right.
nibbling on various grasses, plants, and even some fruits and veggies.
Okay.
This constant search for food keeps them active,
Mm-hmm.
keeps them mentally stimulated, and helps them maintain a healthy weight.
That makes sense. So when we provide them with those specialized treats
Yeah,
that are designed for foraging,
right.
we're essentially mimicking that natural behavior and giving them a little taste of the wild, even within their home environment.
I see. That makes so much sense. So it's like we're tapping into their instincts in a way
Exactly.
and giving them a little bit of a mental workout too.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating how even something as small as like the type of treats we're giving them can have such a big impact on their well-being.
Absolutely. It's all about creating an environment that's both enriching and enjoyable for them.
For sure. Well, I think this has been incredibly informative.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gained a whole new appreciation for these adorable little creatures.
Okay. Okay.
And I can definitely see why so many people fall in love with them.
They're very charming.
A huge thank you to our expert for sharing your knowledge and passion for guinea pigs with us today.
It's been a pleasure.
And to you, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of guinea pig care. If you're thinking about adding a guinea pig to your family, or if you're already a proud owner, remember to check out the show notes for all the resources that we mentioned, including that website for Guinea Gourmet Treats. It's www.guineagourmettreats.co.uk. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those guinea pigs happy.